Гайс, бачу, що на YouTube запустилось. Один момент, зараз все. О, здається, все пофіксилось. Чудово. Так, всім привіт. Напишіть, будь ласка, в коментарях, чи мене гарно чути, видно. Якщо все ок, то будемо починати. Так, бачу на Ютубі вже все працює, чудово. Тут також працює. Чекаю ваших коментарів, що мене чутно, видно, і будемо стартувати. Так, все окей, все окей, все окей. Бачу на ютубчику все добре. Гайс, дивіться, буду читати коментарі як на ютубі, так і на платформі, де через яку дивляться веб наші студенти, тому і там можете писати питання, я буду все моніторити і вам показувати, розповідати, відповідати. Угу. Окей. Тож, пропоную стартувати. So, guys, welcome to our meeting. Today we have Q&A session and we will talk a lot about diversity in teams. We'll talk about challenges, solutions, and communicative practices that will help you navigate through the various diversities that we meet within our life, in our workplace, and in other settings. So, let's get started. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Anastasíu Maшталяр. I'm the CEO and founder of Solid English School. You could scan QR code and become friends with me on Instagram. I try to develop this social media and boost my brand, so I'll appreciate new followers. And there I try to talk about communication with veterans, which I think is quite important topic for Ukrainian business right now, and to give some advice and recommendations to managers and people who work in tech and creative spheres. So I'm CELTA certified English teacher. Previously I worked as a recruiter, so I have vast experience in working with technical and creative teams. I developed courses like English for IT and Grammar Boost, which you can find in our Solid English School portfolio. And I quite often speak as a speaker, actually, during webinars and different educational events. So let's dive in. Today we're gonna talk about 5 different things. Yes, so first of all, I'll briefly tell you about different types of diversity at a workplace. Then we will switch to hiring challenges and team formation. I already have some questions from our students who right now study at English for Top Managers English course, and they have a chance to ask questions directly even before the meeting. Then we will switch to diversity communicative practices. I'll tell you how to communicate and what are the major differences between how Gen Z and millennials communicate, and we will take a look at various situations and how these two generations want to approach them in terms of communication. Then we will talk about delivering feedback, and we will dive into firing people and how to deliver that kind of feedback both to the individual and to the team. And then we will have some time for Q&A, where I'll answer the rest of your questions, both on YouTube and here on the platform. So let's get started. By the way, I've prepared some practical tasks, so stay with me, stay tuned, and you will have a chance to practice today as well. So, first of all, different types of diversity at a workplace. If you simply Google diversity and what types of diversities exist, you'll find more than 15 different types. And yes, I want to say here that we are all different, but it's fine. We need to find similarities and common ground. But let's take a look at some major. I've decided to choose these 4 types of diversities because they are the most important in terms of workplace. And when we talk, for instance, about internal diversity, we mean what's inside our minds and hearts. For instance, how I think I am different from other people who I work with in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of length of my hair and the length of the hair with the girl who sits next to me. External diversity, this is social manifestation, our marital status, our parental status, differences in wages are also external types of diversity. Worldview diversity here mean more vast kinds of differences. For instance, religion, political beliefs, cultural norms. This is our worldview diversity. And when we talk about organizational diversity, here we mean, usually we mean hierarchy. For instance, C-level, top managers, middle management, and linear specialists who work under supervision of their manager. So you see, even in terms of a workplace, we have lots of different types of things where we could differ, right? And our task is to navigate through all that, especially when we are managers and we need to make sure that our team follows and meets all the deadlines and we deliver the project as expected. So here I want to ask you a question. What kind of diversity is the most challenging for your team to navigate, or for you personally in terms of your workplace? Take a look at the bubbles and options I have on the slide. You can choose from them, or you can add your own thing that makes you struggle in terms of your workplace, right? So text it in the comments on YouTube or on the platform. What kind of diversity is the most challenging for your team to navigate, or for you personally to navigate in your workplace? Is it culture? Is it race? Is it religion, age, disabilities, education, language, ethnic, right? Gender, religion? What exactly is hard for you to navigate in terms of diversity? Maybe you've had some situations in your workplace where you really struggled because for instance, you have different political beliefs, or you have different thoughts on language we need to use in the team communication. Let me check the comments. Age in my previous job, culture, language. For sure, I think age could be very tricky, especially if there is a huge gap in the way we communicate. For instance, like senior workers who are 50 plus years old, and at the same time Gen Z, right, who work on the same team. Culture, language, for sure. When we work in cross-cultural environment, and for instance Ukrainians need to work with co-workers from Latin America, that's totally different things. I've had a project where We've helped a Ukrainian team communicate and in general build processes with Korean colleagues. That was a challenge, yeah. Language, lesser rights, yeah, for sure. Even when we work in not a cross-cultural team in Ukraine, right, we still have challenges with Russian and Ukrainian, and here I'm pretty sure there could be like real big questions asked. So yeah, thank you guys for your options. And let's move further. Let's take a look at the second point of our agenda, hiring challenges and team formation. I'm a huge, like when we talk about diversity, the whole concept of it is not that hard, right? We all understand that we're different, but when it comes to work, yeah, when it comes to who we hire, who we fire, yeah, and team formation, then diversity could become a real bottleneck in forming those processes. So I'm a huge fan of cases, so I decided to tell you how we at Solid English School navigate the diversity in education. As you know, we are a language school, so we hire lots of English teachers. And this year we actually celebrate 7th birthday of the company, and throughout this time, I think we've met like thousands of teachers, and they are all very, very, very different. They have various backgrounds, different experiences. Some of them have certifications, some of them don't, and it's very hard to choose. It's very hard to understand like which teacher would be a better fit for the team. So what we've come up with. We analyzed all the candidates we've had throughout a couple years, and we created two categories, A players and newbies. I think the names tell the story themselves, but still, A players are more experienced specialists who have bigger work experience. Most of them have some kind of certifications, either methodological or language certifications. Most of them tried working with students with special needs in terms of professional English, business English, and stuff like that. While newbies, right, if we compare A players with newbies usually are on the start of their career. They've been teaching for like 1, 2, 3 years tops. And they don't know much about methodology, about the way we need to teach, the way the teacher has to behave during the lesson and stuff like that, but they are very enthusiastic. They are very energetic. They want to learn. They want to try new things. They are very open to feedback and they really want to grow. So what we've decided to do, when we form our hiring strategy, our yearly hiring strategy, we always think like what projects are we going to have, what projects do we want to land, and what kind of teachers do we need for that. So we have a clear understanding of how many A players we need and how many newbies we can hire. And in terms of understanding, like in numbers, how many A players and how many newbies we can and want to hire, we think about how these two teams inside of one huge academic department can collaborate. So this strategy of dividing candidates into categories really helped us form the way the team collaborates. For instance, A players, they onboard quite fast, while newbies, they usually need more than 3 months of onboarding. And what we do here, we ask A players to mentor our newbies. Of course, 2 new candidates and 2 new workers cannot help in mentorship, but when A player is successfully onboarded, he or she had enough of working with us and enough lessons, we offer a mentorship program. Newbies love it. A players love it because A players can share their experience and they feel valued. And newbies, they are so eager to learn. They are so eager to, take a peek of that experience an A player has. One more thing, we know that A players have a huge experience in methodology and they know lots of things of how to form an educational program, how to work with mixed level groups and stuff like that. So we offer them not only teaching but product development as well. And here A players can grow, because they see how they can upskill themselves and stop being simply an English teacher, but become a methodologist, a program developer, and a product manager in the future. Yeah. When we hire newbies, vice versa, we focus on hard skills. We know that they can have great soft skills, and basically soft skills is something that we judge when we hire them, right? Because the better soft skills are, the easier it will be to teach some rules of teaching methodology to them, right? So here again, A players help newbies share their experience with them. And when it comes to teachers talking time, this is a concept that teachers understand, but let me explain it to you as well. During the lessons, it's very important for the teacher to speak in a minimal way. The more student talks, the better. Teacher has to simply navigate the student. So A players usually have no problem with that, while newbies really like to show off their skills in English, their knowledge, their cases, their stories. So here, we ask A players to not only mentor, but also give workshops to newbies, show them in a practical way how they can decrease the way they talk during the lessons. And here mentor and academic director really helps with that when it comes to newbies. And one more case I have prepared for you when it comes to sales team. Every business has a sales team. So what we've faced here, what kind of challenge? We have lots of products, and our services are quite complex. So our major challenge with sales managers is that they have to learn lots of new information when they start the job. So what we've come up here, the idea is that we've created a 3 days onboarding during which candidate for the position of sales manager has to go through all that information, and in the end they take a test in order to check whether they understood and remembered all that info about our products and about our students. So this strategy really helped us to understand which candidates are ready to face such huge amounts of data. Because when we didn't have this 3 days onboarding, simply an interview, like technical interview and interview with HR, didn't show us the ability of candidates to learn. It's quite interesting how sales managers have to have this great and proactive skill of learning, but for us it's like that. So 3 days onboarding with clear onboarding process, lots of documentation, and ability to ask the manager clarifying questions helps to understand which candidates are okay with understanding and using and recreating all that information about our product in the conversations with clients after that, or no. And of course candidates who cannot grasp all that info in 3 days, they receive the negative answer. Okay, let's move further. Hiring is a key. My personal idea of hiring is that we need to understand what candidates are we looking for. We need to create a clear portrait of a candidate, and that helps to choose and find the right person. Soft skills and hard skills. Again, if we go back to the case of our teaching candidates, you need to understand whether you have time to hire a newbie and teach them longer, or you really need an A player who will be quick to understand everything, quick to onboard, quick to get to the tasks. Interview stages, think about that. I always advise to analyze the hiring process itself if you have challenges with hiring and finding the right person. Perhaps your interview stages are, perhaps there are too many of them. Perhaps you waste lots of time during the first stage while you pre-screen, right, the candidates, and then you don't give enough time for technical task to a candidate, and that's why they don't get to the final stage. So analyze your interview stages, find bottlenecks, and try changes. Test a different hypothesis, and I'm sure that with the time you'll get to the perfect interview stages process. Behavior and personality. Of course, it's super important to ask behavioral questions and try to analyze the personality of the candidate and compare personality of the candidate with your team principles and team's characteristics. Because we hire a person who will not work on their own. They will be a part of the team. So we need to think not only whether this person is a good fit, but whether they are a good fit for the team and for the company itself. And one more thing I want to say when we talk about hiring and team formation, use managerial instruments. PDP plans, personal development plans, they really work when it comes to A players and when it comes to people who stay in your team for more than a year. People want to develop themselves. They want to grow and get higher and higher within their career ladder. For that, you need PDP plans, and you need not only to create them, but also to make sure that they go through with the PDP plan. So schedule one-to-ones in order to make a retrospective with your team, with your worker, and understand whether he or she actually does the tasks that you guys planned together. PP checklists, that's probation period checklist. I think this instrument really helps people to go through a probation period, because again, they see what exactly is expected from them during the first, the second, and the third months of their work. One-to-ones is a perfect instrument for any kind of problems, right? I know that lots of managers sometimes skip this kind of meetings, but please do not do that. One-to-ones are really important. Our co-workers love them and appreciate them, especially when they are conducted not in a way of simply, how are you doing, is everything fine, but when they are given a chance to talk and vocalize their needs and their confusions if they have any. Feedback, again, super important instrument which we need to give as managers in order for the team and every player in a team to feel noticed, seen, and valued. Don't forget giving feedbacks, and my advice is to teach the team to freely ask for feedback. If they need more, they need to be able to ask for it. Okay, retro and planning. I love these types of meetings. We really do need planning in order to understand what kind of workload we have for the next week, for the next month, for this project in general. And retrospective meetings are super important for the team to, again, vocalize what went well, what went wrong, and what could be changed in order for our next project, our next sprint to be better and for us to feel less confused and more productive. Informal meetings. Again, this type of meetings, this instrument really helps to form a team, even if the team is super different. When the team is cross-cultural, or when you have different age group within your teams, informal meetings usually help bond. So think about topics that you can hold informal meetings on. It shouldn't always be a team building with beer and stuff. It could also be a place where people can share their hobbies, talk about their pets, games they play, places they visit, stuff like that. This helps teammates to know each other better, form bonds and relationships, which in the end help them be more productive and effective at their work. So praise the difference in search of similarities. And moving to the third part of our meeting, diversity communicative practices. Here I want to talk to you about how different generations talk at different workplaces. So let's take a look at the video. It's super short, but it really nicely shows how Gen Z and millennials communicate.
Wait.
You see, so she was about to write, "Thanks, bestie," but then she was like, "Oh, wait, I should just say, will do, appreciate it." Gen Z is very informal. They don't recognize hierarchy. They are very plain and straightforward in what they say and how they say it, while we as millennials, I myself am a millennial, we tend to be more constructive, more concise, and we usually do not let ourselves be so free in communication. Let's take a look at actual examples of communication cases when something is said by Gen Z and something is said by millennials. Just a sec.
Wait.
So, topics, different types of topics. For instance, when it comes to professional tone, millennials understand that the conversations we have at work are important. So we try to balance casual and formal style, while Gen Z prefers authentic, casual tone over formalities. When it comes to emojis and GIFs, we use them, as millennials, but selectively. There are GIFs, emojis, and memes I can send my friends, but I won't send to my coworkers, while Gen Z uses them freely to express tone and vibe. I'm sure you've noticed that they simply love sending memes, GIFs, emojis, and they usually do not select it. So you can easily see like emoji of poop in your chat, like sent by Gen Z representative. Hierarchy in communication. Millennials tend to be respectful of hierarchy, while Gen Z prefers flat structures and open dialogue with leadership. I think we all have the feeling of that, but let's take a look at the real cases of communication, how it is different in terms of written and spoken English communication. So here, the situation is giving updates. Millennial would say, "Hey team, just a quick update on the project status. We're 80% done, aiming to wrap up by Friday. Let me know if you need anything." So the communication is friendly and structured, while Gen Z says, "Project's almost done, Friday should work, LMK if you need something." Brief, informal, emoji friendly. And you see like LMK, let me know if you, lots of abbreviations, lots of short forms, and it's totally fine. But the messages are totally the same. They conduct the same information, but in two different ways. Asking for help. Yeah, millennial would say, hi, I'm stuck on the report layout. Can you spare 15 minutes this afternoon to walk me through it? Long sentences, yeah? While Gen Z would just write, yo, can you help me with the report? Layouts, weird lol. You see the way it's written, yeah, lots of slang, lots of shortenings, but it's still the same message, and we all understand both variants of it. Giving feedback, yeah, millennial would say, your design looks great overall. One idea, what if we simplify the header for clarity? Constructive and softened. Right? Your design is great, looks great overall. Yes, so this is softening and generalizing the feedback. While Gen Z would simply say, header's kind of cluttered. Yeah, meaning like lots of things there, cluttered. Maybe cut a few elements. Yeah, and just in the form of the question, recommendation. Maybe cut a few elements. Blunt but efficient. Yes, still the feedback is given. The major correction was given in both situations, and I wouldn't say that Gen Z's feedback was, rude or something. No, it was just super short. It used different vocabulary. I'd say more emotional and strong vocabulary if we compare it to millennials, but still it's fine. Yeah, it's not super rude. So think about it. Yeah, that messages are still delivered. Information still receives the recipient. And should we care so much about the way Gen Z phrases it? I wouldn't say that. What do you guys think? Would you understand what Gen Z has told you if you received this kind of messages? Please comment. Are these messages from Gen Z clear or not really? I love Gen Z style. Yeah, short and clear, any problem. Right, yeah, we don't really see like the difference. It's understandable. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, I'd say it's fresh, right? But it's okay. I'm millennial. I sent poo emojis to the colleagues chat. Gen Z style, all clear. Well, yeah, it was just an example. I'm totally like okay with poo emojis, so it's fine. If you have this style, yeah, of communication within the team, it's totally okay. But yeah, great. I think we all agree that the way we conduct messages, the difference between the way millennials and Gen Z communicates is clear, because the idea, yeah, the core message is still delivered, so it's totally fine, and we can like stop being so triggered by Gen Z. By the way, interesting fact about Gen Z, the actual word of it. Did you guys know that in British English they say Gen Z, and in American English they say Gen Z? And maybe you can share with me what kind of pronunciation do you choose? I really like Gen Z. I'm all for American way of saying it. Let me check. But I prefer millennials because of responsibility, right? Agree, yeah. American one. Yeah, thank you guys for being here with me and sharing your ideas. So, and we are slowly moving further to the next stop of our meeting. Yeah, communication with veterans. Actually, this question was asked by one of our students who are studying right now at English for Top Managers course. So it's already here. Yeah, the answer to this question is already here. And right now on the slide you see QR code. As I told you before, in my on my Instagram page, I talk a lot about communication with veterans. This topic is very personal for me because I have veterans, war veterans in my family. So I know from personal experience what should be said, what could be said, and what absolutely should not be said to veterans. And so if you're interested in that, please follow me and, let's help all Ukrainians understand what are the red flags of communication with veterans and how we can communicate with them in a respectful and constructive way. So moving further, let's take a look here. So I prepared some examples for you because I think we can talk a lot about what we should and shouldn't do, but the best way to learn it is to see the example. So what we need to keep in mind. Veterans prefer clarity and directness in communication. The clearer and more straightforward your instructions and your input is, the better. They like well-defined goals. Try to avoid being vague and saying too many things. Yeah, don't use soft language with them. For instance, you could say, here is the objective. Yeah, here is our goal. We need it by Friday. That's it. Try to omit phrases like, if you could maybe look into this when you have a moment. That just totally frustrates the person with previous veteran, who is a veteran and who had some war experience. Feedback style. They are open to constructive feedback, but prefer it straight and fair. Don't sugarcoat too much. I'd say that this advice works not only for veterans and communication with them, but for anyone. Do not sugarcoat too much, no matter who you talk to. Say, this part needs revision, here is why and how, and say clear action points that need to be improved. And avoid overly emotional framing. So do not say this part is ugly, or this part is so bad. How could you create something like that? No, these parts need revision. Here is why and how. We are very constructive and we say exactly what needs to be done. Purpose-driven work. For veterans, it's super important to create value by what they do. So as a manager, think about whether you are clearly delivering the meaning of their work to them. And again, as a manager, I'd say that this part is important not only for veterans, but in general for any team. If the team understands the value of its work and how this task, delivering this task on time helps business, helps the project, helps the client, and why exactly we do that, they do it with more energy and enthusiasm, and they usually do it better. The same with veterans, Show how their contribution fits into the big picture or how it helps the team. And triggers and sensitivities. Keep in mind that when we talk about onboarding veteran to our team and onboarding team with the fact that now we hire veterans as well, this passage, this journey has lots of triggers and sensitivities on it. So we need to be aware of that and use empathy, not assumptions. Do not overthink, do not dream of something that is not actual. Stick to facts. Avoid overly casual jokes about war, violence, etc. My advice actually here is to create a collaborative list of red flags or topics we do not want to discuss. Veterans themselves can collaborate and write some points they don't want to discuss at all. And your team members, they also can collaborate and write what they would not like to discuss during informal or formal team meetings. When in doubt, ask respectfully, or simply hold space if someone chooses to share. Ask directly what could be hurtful for the person to hear or to talk about, and make sure that you are all on the same page, what is okay in terms of communication and what is not. It's best to discuss everything like before we get to it, than to face those problems during the communication and during the project. Okay, now moving further, how to communicate firing. This is a very tricky topic. Tell me, share with me, please, guys, in the comments. Have you ever fired anyone? Or have you requested someone to be fired? And while you're answering in the chat, yeah, I see some yes. Okay, yeah. Was it hard? Was it hard? How did you manage it? How did you tackle it? Yeah. As managers, we fire and hire people. Hiring is a lot more enjoyable than firing, I'd say. But yeah, here are some nice recommendations for you to think about, when you fire. Again, firing could become the thing that breaks a team if it's not conducted and communicated well. So, when we talk about, Anna, you say it's not hard for you. Well, maybe you can share in the comments, like, how do you do it so that it's not hard? And coming back to our recommendations, look, when it comes to communication with, specifically with the person who we want to fire, my advice is to be direct but respectful. Instead of saying it might be time for us to part ways, which is absolutely unclear, which is very formal, very bureaucratic. Like, this phrase just smells of red tape and bureaucratic English. Do not use this kind of wording. Think about more direct and respectful way. We've made the decision to end your employment effective today. Or effective like next week. Effective the date. Stick to facts, not emotions. When we give feedback, we never talk about the person, about their character, about them as individuals. We talk about what they did, about their behavior. So focus on facts, not emotions. Avoid "you just weren't a good fit." What does that say even? You've been frustrating to work with. We can feel that. We can think that. Our other teammates can give us as managers this kind of feedback. But when we deliver this message to the employee, we should never say anything like that. Focus on performance expectations, specific conversations, processes followed, and behavior. What exactly was done and how did it impact the project, the team, the business? Use the past, present, future technique. This is a great technique when we give feedback and when we need to deliver some bad news. When it comes to past, you acknowledge what's been done so far with or without positive framing. It's up to you whether to soften it or simply give the direct facts, like, look, here you've done it well, here this tasks were missed, we missed deadline here, they were not delivered in the quality we've expected. Present. Clearly state the decision and that it's final. We need to clarify that it's not our thought. It's not something we talk about with other managers, with HR, with C-level. No, the decision has been already made. And that's it. Future, explain what happens next. People love it. They want to know what's going to happen next if I'm being fired. What should I expect? Offboarding, final paycheck, benefits, support. All of that is important, and person will have that in mind. So you could, be proactive and answer the questions that they haven't asked yet themselves. And moving further, message to the whole team. It's super important when we fire someone and that person didn't work on their own, he or she was a part of a team, to deliver the news to the team as well. They will find out no matter what you do. Yeah, news share fast. Bad news share even faster. So be proactive and deliver the news yourself so that you are more in control. This is an example. Right now on the slide you see an example of a public announcement. Hi team, I want to let you know that Ivan is no longer working with us as of today. Yeah, so meaning today he stopped the employment. We're grateful for his contribution over the past month and wish him all the best moving forward. In the meantime, I'll be redistributing his tasks. I'll reach out to those involved directly. If you have any questions or just want to talk things through, my door's always open. Let's continue to support each other and move forward together. So you see, in this public announcement, in this message to the team, what do we say? First of all, we say the fact that the person was fired. We no longer work together. That's number one. Number two, we show gratefulness. We say that his contribution was valued. And we really appreciate things that the person has done for us. Next, the third thing, we always need to say when it comes to the communication with the team about firing another team player, we need to say what's going to happen next. How this fact of firing someone would affect other team members. So here we say, I'll reach out to those involved directly in order to redistribute tasks. And if you have any questions, you just wanna talk, make sure to let people know that they can reach out to you directly. And if they are confused, if they are frustrated with whys, and hows, they can just text you or book a call with you, and you are there as a manager for them because you are their supporter, you are their shoulder, and they need to be able to talk to you directly in case they have some anxiety towards that. Okie dokie. And the last part, feedbacks. Do they slay or suck? Slay meaning, are they super cool, or do they suck and they are super bad and we just hate them? Let me know, by the way, how do you guys feel about feedbacks? Do you love giving them or do you hate giving them? And while you write in the comments that, let me introduce to you a really nice approach. I just love it when it comes to giving feedback. The abbreviation is SBI, and it stands for situation, behavior, and impact. If you keep in mind this approach when you give feedback, your feedbacks would be very structured. You start with the situation. For instance, during the last project meeting, this is our context, our situation. What was the setup? The second part, you move to behavior. What exactly the person has done? I noticed that the data for the financial report was not submitted on time. So that was the part with the behavior. We had our situation, last project meeting, and here is the behavior. The project report was not submitted on time by the person who we give feedback. And I is impact. How this behavior in that specific situation influenced what was happening next, influenced the team and the project itself. This delayed the client's approval process and impacted our ability to meet the deadline. You see, while giving feedback, we describe the situation, we describe the behavior, and we describe the impact. And now the person who we give feedback to clearly understand why this situation in general is being discussed, and why do we give it so much time and attention. And now let's move further. I want you to think, guys, what's missing here? Here is the three parts of our feedback: SBI, situation, behavior, and impact, all together. Read it on your own and try to think what's missing here. Imagine yourself in this situation. You are a manager, you are giving your employee this feedback about this fuck up, right? During the last project meeting, I noticed the data was for the financial report was not submitted on time. This delayed the client's approval process and impacted our ability to meet the deadline. So in the end, we perhaps didn't meet the deadline in general. What's missing here? What do you want to add? I like feedbacks, good. In my company, there is a practice 360 appreciation. Yeah, I find it difficult to deliver negative feedback. Okay, with just honest conversation about not meeting the targets. I'm okay about changing managers as often as it's needed. Yeah. Call to action. Yeah, Tanya, thank you. Yevgen agrees. Okay, what should be done to fix it and how to avoid it in the future? Exactly. Yes, guys, you are a great team. I absolutely agree. This feedback is missing some action points. What do we need to do next? And for that, in order to deliver those action points, my way of doing that is using constructive closure. Constructive closure, or in different words, it's also called solution-focused approach. Instead of focusing on the problem, we could focus on the solution. Yeah, and by doing that, we make the feedback positive and actionable. Yeah, so the person who we give it to knows exactly what has to be done after our meeting and after receiving this feedback. Let's take a look at the example, and I'll tell you like 3 major principles of giving constructive closure when you provide someone with feedback. Moving forward, we need to establish a clearer process for tracking submissions. Let's work together to ensure this doesn't happen again. And you see here 3 highlighted phrases. Moving forward. This is the first principle of constructive closure. Focus on the future. Yeah. We do not need to recall the past, recall the problem, recall the details. Everyone already knows it. Yeah, we know what was done wrong and where was the fuck up. Yeah, so simply focus on the future. That's our first principle. The second principle is to give actionable action points, yeah, to our person. We need to establish a clearer process for tracking submissions. What exactly has to be done? Clear action points. We need to establish a clearer process for tracking submissions. This is your task, basically. And the third principle is collaboration. Yeah, let's work together to ensure this doesn't happen again. By finishing it up with collaboration, you let the person know that they're not alone. Yeah, you are still on their side. You are still supporting them. And if they need any help doing the task, yeah, you are here for them. So again, constructive closure consists of 3 major principles. Focusing on the future, giving actionable points, yeah, so tasks, and collaboration. Now, let's practice a bit. Here is our original feedback. You are always unprepared for meetings. It's getting really annoying. Please rewrite this feedback using SBI approach. Situation, behavior, impact. I'm going to read your answers in the chat. How would you change it so that it sounds constructive and follows our approach, situation, behavior, impact? Let's have like 1 minute to do that. Let's be super fast because we're a little bit running out of time. I will take like 10 more minutes of your time, guys. Okay. While you're writing your versions with the SBI approach, let me give a few comments about the regional feedback. Yeah, here we use words like always and really and annoying. Yeah, these three words are real red flags. Always is not a good idea to use. It's not a good idea to use this word during feedbacks because it's generalization. Yeah, we generalize everything that's happening, and by doing that, we we judge the person and we dramatize everything. We don't want to do that. So try to omit words like always. And the next part, really annoying. Yeah, this type of language is very emotional. You, like the person who gives this kind of feedback, yeah, they are not only choosing a strong word, annoying, but they want to maximize it with really annoying. It's like, I'd say that this is sort of communication between partners, between like husband and wife, between mother and a child, but not between coworkers. So do not generalize and think twice of your word choice and not make it super emotional, yeah, because it doesn't help anyhow. And it just hurts the person who you give that kind of feedback to. And now let's take a look at your rewritings. Last time when we discussed project scope, your part of work hasn't been submitted. It led us to rescheduling the meeting. Yeah, situation. Last time when we discussed project scope, behavior, your part of work hasn't been submitted. Impact, it led us to rescheduling the meeting. Awesome. Yevhen, during the last few team meetings, situation, you often come without necessary materials or prepared your updates. That's the behavior. And do we have impact here? No, Yevhen, I think we're missing impact here. How did that behavior impact the project or the team? And Olesa, I noticed it's complicated for you to lead calls. I assume it's because you do not have any notes. We spend more time than set for the calls. Let's agree you'll be prepared every time. How can I help? Yeah, okay. Olesa, that sounds fine. Yeah, I think I'd say I-focused feedbacks are fine. Yeah, and again, you focus more on how you feel, how you experience the situation and stuff like that. But my major concern here is the phrase "I assume." Yeah, we don't want to assume. As managers, we and in terms of any kind of communication, we try to stick to facts, not our hypothesis. So maybe rephrase "I assume" with "I've noticed you don't have any notes." Yeah, so then it becomes not a hypothesis, but it's a fact. Yeah, because the person obviously doesn't have any notes, right? Okay, well done. Well done, guys. Super. Let me show you my version of it. During yesterday's client meeting at 10 a.m., situation, you didn't have the updated project timeline ready, and you mentioned you hadn't reviewed the client's latest email. Behavior, yeah? Impact, that made it difficult for us to answer the client's questions confidently, and it affected their trust in our preparation. It also put extra pressure on the rest of the team to fill the gaps. That's the impact. And now when we see, let's compare it once again. You are always unprepared for meetings. It's getting really annoying. When I hear things like that, I'm like, okay, mom, thank you, bye-bye, yeah? But when I hear this kind of feedback, I understand how my behavior or lack of my nice and professional behavior influences my team, my coworkers, yeah, and the project and the client and the business, right? The company where I work at. So one more thing, one more thing is Q&A. Yeah, I want you to do here a little thing. We have a great feedback, but we still lack constructive closure. Please take 1 more minute of your time and write in the comment constructive closure for this feedback. Let's recall that we have 3 principles of constructive feedback. We are focused on the future, we give clear action points, we form the tasks, and we show collaboration. Yeah, we want to tell them, let's do it together. I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. So go ahead and write a short constructive closure to this feedback. So we are focusing on the future because when we focus on the past, we focus on the problem. We want to focus on solution. We give clear action points and we show that we are ready to collaborate. Kindly ask you to be prepared for each meeting moving forward. Let me know if you need any help. Yeah, that works for me. That works for me. Ask you to be prepared for each meeting moving forward. Like this sounds like a constructive closure because you are focusing on the future. You give a clear task. Yeah, like be prepared for each meeting, and you offer collaboration. Let me know if you need any help. I think that's awesome. Okay, guys, so that's basically it. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. Yeah, I have here a nice meme. I love this meme. Усі ми різні, але всі ми українці. Да, and a few words while you are writing your questions. If you have any, let me tell you a bit more about this Q&A sessions in general. What are they? We at Solid English School, we have the course English for Managers. Yeah, this course was specifically developed to help managers communicate at their roles. And що тут по формату? Да? Перейду на українську мову. Це курс з бізнес-англійської. Він в себе включає 20 живих онлайн-уроків в міні-групках. Заняття тривають по 60 хвилин. Основний викладач курсу – це український викладач, але кожне 5-те заняття на цьому курсі проводить носій мови для того, щоб покращити і вимову, і флуенсі студентів, а також допомогти їм з крос-культурними відмінностями. І окрім цього, в рамках курсу «Англійська для топ-менеджерів» ми проводимо 3 Q&A-сесії з експертами, які мають практичний досвід і ніші яких обрали самі студенти. Тож долучайтеся до цього курсу, він класний. І давайте повернемося до ваших питань, якщо такі є. It was a great lesson where everything was clear. Can we watch the video via the link later? Of course, yeah. Of course. Yeah, we will have the recording and it will be sent to you guys and it will be on the platform. Yeah, so everything will be there and available to you. It was a pleasure being with you tonight. I hope you've learned some new approaches and regarding communication with veterans, I think this topic is really vast. Yeah, it's huge and it's going to be more and more popular for any business in Ukraine. So yeah, I talk about it a lot on my Instagram page. Let's connect, let's be friends, and let's help more Ukrainian businesses, more managers to understand how to work with veterans, because I believe that there will be no Ukrainian business that do not hire veterans. Thanks guys. I think you're a very soft boss. Thank you, Anna. I don't know. I cannot judge myself as a boss, but thank you very much for giving that feedback. It was a pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate your like proactiveness in the comments. It was awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you for choosing Solid. Thank you for being with me tonight. I hope you all have a great evening and a safe and calm evening. Yeah, see you guys. It was my pleasure to be with you today.